What's up guys, welcome to another video. We decided to do some more cooking, showing what we've been eating, just in general. This is how I've been eating recently, especially with our intermittent fasting diet that we've been doing from home. So we try not to have our first meal till like 3 PM, and then we'll eat this sort of thing I'm going to show you now. Really simple to cook, bulk cook. I know a lot of people are bad at cooking or can't be asked to self-spice. There's a lot of easier ways of doing it. So I'm doing 2 easy beef recipes today. I normally cook up like 2 kilos of meat at once, just because we get through it so fast. I probably eat like half a kilo to like 700 grams of raw meat a day, and that adds up pretty quickly, so it just makes sense to bulk cook. So very simply, 5% fat content beef mince is the main part of this, so low fat reduces the calories a lot. Compared to the full fat version, it probably reduces it by like almost 50% calories. The fat adds a lot. Then, so we're doing chili con carne and bolognese from scratch. With the chili con carne, I could season it myself, but I just find it so much easier to buy pre-made sachets. These are like 40p, I think they're even 30p from Lidl. Rather than having to buy all these different separate spices we're going to use for the bolognese, I just get a lot of stuff like fajita mix, chili mix, even often bolognese mix from the stores pre-made. It's just time convenient. But if you've got all this stuff and you want to hand spice it, we're doing that for the bolognese as well. So with the beef chili, we have 2 tins of chopped tomatoes, 1 kilo of beef here, the 2 sachets. Then we have 2 tins of kidney beans. I may only use 1, we'll see. It just adds a lot of fibre to the meal as well, a very meat heavy meal. And then we have some chopped onions and peppers. We'll have 2.5-ish each between the beef mince for the chili con carne. Then for the bolognese, kilo of 5% beef mince, onions and peppers again, so about 2.5 each per kilo. Then we add in some just regular cheap beef stock cubes, chopped tomatoes again, and a few different herbs and spices to give it the actual Italian taste. So garlic, basil, a little bit of chili just to give it a bit of spice, oregano and tarragon, and you can just do this to taste. So the good thing about the spice pack is if you're just a terrible chef and you don't know how much of each of these to put in and you don't know what it's even meant to taste like, seasoning packets are the way to go. But if you want to try and do it to your own taste you like, doing it yourself is really good, because obviously if you like your food hot, spicier, put more chili in it. If you don't like it spicy, you can remove it. With a pre-made packet, you're just stuck with the flavour it gives you. So I do recommend a lot of them. Those, like the Schwartz ones, are really good. But even the cheap ones from Lidl, for the fajita and the chili con carne ones, I don't bother seasoning it myself because they're just the right flavour. So yeah, let's get started cooking. To start off with, we've just got to prep all the veg. So I'll do that now and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so I chopped up all the onions and peppers, 4 of each to be precise, and I literally just shallow fried them, sauteed them, whatever you want to say, just to brown them off. I love frying up vegetables, it smells so goddamn good. So that's step 1, just put them to the side for now. We're going to add them in a minute. Next up we are just browning off the beef basically. So quite simply, just break it up, let it go brown off. Once it starts to brown off properly, we'll add in the herbs and spices to each and go from there. So just break it apart, really simple. Whack it on high heat to start off with and you turn it down once it's fully browned. But we'll get to there in a second. So yeah, step 2, just start browning off the beef mince. So yeah, it's going to take a few minutes. Right, so now the beef is browning off, we want to add in some seasoning to make it a bit tastier basically. So we've got these beef mince, like liquid sachet seasoning flavours, and just a regular stock cube. So we're just going to chuck them in each. There you go. So it's like a liquid cube of just salt and fat basically, but it does add a lot of flavour.
It's like a liquid
Jerry, look at it.
OXO cube basically.
Yeah, pretty much. We add one of them and an extra stock cube in. These are just Lidl's own stock cubes, really cheap. You don't have to go for Bista or anything expensive. Just mix it in a second. Do the same with the other one. And also in the other one we'll be adding 2 chili con carne seasoning sachets. These are meant for 450 grams of beef. We've got a kilo in there, so 2 sachets. And we'll also add in just the actual regular beef stock stuff to make it taste a bit nicer. Get a bit steamy in here, so we're going to have to whack this on. Another beef jelly cube. And for the chili con carne we'll add in the 2 seasoning packets. Just chuck these in on top. So So now we just stir these in, and we'll be back in a second. You'll see how much browner it makes the beef instantly. It just makes it much darker and has so much more flavour in it. If you're really trying to cut back on salt and stuff, you can have it plain, but it's just going to be not as nice. And as long as you're eating carefully, the little bit of salt and fats from it is not going to make much of a difference, to be honest. I think people are too overly careful. People will use their 1 calorie fucking sprays, and then they'll go and eat like a bunch of shit on the weekend anyway, and it's sort of, I don't see the point. You might as well just eat fairly consistently, use actual nice cooking ingredients, and not have your pizza or whatever on the weekend, and just keep eating clean. That's what we've been trying to do for the most part, and it's so much more effective than being really strict and then falling off your diet of the weekend and getting ice cream and pizza and all kinds, because your meals are so bland in the first place. You're not using any nice ingredients. And this one's got a really nice dark brown colour now with all the seasoning, and it just adds so much more flavour to it. So this is step 1. Then we need to in a second add the other ingredients. So that's pretty much mixed in. Now we'll add in the onions and peppers. So about half and half for each of these. Already cooked. If you put them in raw, they're going to struggle to cook properly with all this meat in the pan. So I pre-cook them first. Wash up as I go. Chopped vegetables. So we stir these in. The bolognese, 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. Possibly even 3 if you want it to be more tomatoey. And then we need to add the seasonings of the bolognese, but first I'll just put the chopped tomatoes. So another 2 tins of chopped tomatoes and the beef chilli. And red kidney beans as well. So 2 tins of these, it's about 400 grams drained weight. It just adds a bunch more vegetables and fibre to your meal basically, so 2 tins of this. So we'll stir this one in and let it simmer down, and then just leave it to simmer basically and thicken for a good 20 minutes to half an hour at least. You want your beef chilli to be really thick, you don't want it to be runny. So at the moment obviously we just put a bunch of tomatoes in it, it's going to be a little bit runny. But once it's properly baked through or fried through slowly, it'll be much nicer and reduced down. So there's nothing worse than having a really watery bolognese or beef chilli or something like that. It's just gross. So you let him basically fry out a bit. So that's all in there now. That is fucking, couldn't have put more in that pan, to be honest. Turn it down a little bit. Then seasoning for the bolognese. We've got the tomato puree, just add a squeeze of that in there. Just adds a bit more sweetness. Also, I like to add in a little bit of ketchup, but this is still at the moment, so I'm going to add this ketchup in a second. Just adds a bit of an extra tang to it. Then we're going to add in a bit of seasoning, so some garlic granules. I do this by eye and just taste it as I go. A little bit of basil. Just be moderate of your, you can always add more, you can't take it away. Obviously we'll cook up a kilo of meat at once here, so it's going to be quite a lot. Oregano. Just a bit of that in. A bit of tarragon, which is one of my favourite herbs. Just a bunch of that in. And then just for a bit of spice, a few chili flakes. And a little bit of chili powder, the rest of what we got, which is basically none. Nothing. A few more chili flakes then. Not too many, she says. Right, and then we'll stir this one in. And basically, also the thing with herbs and spices you should realise is the more you cook them, the stronger the flavour becomes. So if you taste test it at the start, it is going to become a stronger flavour 10 minutes later once they're properly cooked into the food. So you have to give it a little minute before you want to taste test it before you decide to add anything else, otherwise it could suddenly become too overpowering. So you can see this is quite watery and runny at the minute, so we really want that to like dry out, otherwise it's just going to be not nice basically. So yeah, we'll leave this again to simmer down for a few minutes, taste test it again, but that's the most of it. You basically leave these to simmer for 20-30 minutes to really get the flavour to go through the meat, and then it's ready to go. So ways you can serve this to be a bit cleaner: with the bolognese, courgette spaghetti. So we've got a spiral cutter, which make even the picture really easy to make courgette spaghetti, carrot spaghetti, beetroot spaghetti, butternut spaghetti. It's just a good way of just taking a bunch of carbs out of your meal, adding in more vegetables. So yeah, we're going to let these simmer and we'll come back when they're done. Alright, so these have been simmering for about 10 minutes or so. They're finally simmering down. I just thought I'd show you another thing we normally serve them with is green veg. So we've got this steamer. If you don't have one of these electric steamers, they're really cheap and super easy. So in here we've got broccoli, green beans and sugar snaps. So this much vegetables will literally last 2 days. We'll have a big portion of it with each meal to fill ourselves out. And when you've got this green veg mixed with some of the sauce that comes from these, it's actually really nice. Otherwise you could top it with some low calorie sauces. So we've got a bunch of the skinny ones in here, so like the skinny barbecue sauce, skinny ketchup. Then it means there's basically no calories in it. It's a good way to flavour your vegetables if you really can't cope with vegetables. But yeah, if you eat this way, literally just meat and veg for most of your meals, you could eat a lot of food and still not gain fat. We've been losing weight on this really easily. If you just minimise your carbs, eat loads of meat and vegetables, like this has got some carbs in it, but all the carbohydrates are from the tomatoes, the onions, the peppers, and a little bit from the seasoning. It's very marginal, and there's a lot of fibrous carbs as well, so like the carbs in the kidney beans, a lot of fibre and extra protein in them. So if you literally just stick to the simple method of high protein, low carbs, moderate to low fats, and you actually do a little bit of weight training and exercise, you're going to start looking better very quickly. It's that simple. You don't just have to eat boring old crap and then end up falling off from wanting to eat carbs all the time because your meals are not very nice. So this is like part of this is the sort of stuff I've been getting my clients to eat recently on lockdown, and they've all been losing weight really well. You don't have to be obscenely strict unless you're literally prepping for a show. Just to lose weight and to get a six-pack, a decent six-pack, you don't have to eat that extreme. It's really not that difficult. So yeah, this is one of my cooking videos. If you want some more direct help with eating properly, just give me a DM on Instagram as per usual for my coaching and other services. But we're doing more cooking videos. I've got loads of recipes and I keep coming up with new ones and trying new ones out as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed and I'll catch you next time.